In 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, it says that the elements shall be burned with fervent heat. You know, these are the things you concentrate upon every day, man. You know, you want the fear of the Lord, concentrate on that. Concentrate on that heat that's coming. You know, watch videos, man, on thermonuclear destruction. Watch videos, movies, whatever, to get you in that spirit, in that mode, in that mind frame, man, because that's what's coming, man. The judgment of the Lord, man, his wrath.
The chariots shall rage in the streets, they shall jostle one against another in the broadways, they shall seem like torches, they shall run like the lightnings. He shall recount his...
Right, and verse 4, Nahum 2 and 4 is describing the cars, man. This technology of today. The chariots shall rage in the streets. What is that talking about? Traffic, right? Cars coming and going. You know, honking their horns or what have you. Their lights on, right? Their headlights, their tail lights. They shall jostle one against another in the Broadway. That's a traffic jam, pretty much, right? They shall seem like torches. Yeah, they shall seem like torches, because at night, when it's night, you have your what? You have your headlights on, right? Got your headlights, you got your tail lights, you got your signal lights. They shall run like the lightnings. And it's talking about the horsepower that these vehicles have. So Nahum saw, the Most High gave Nahum the vision of the future. And what he saw was this technology, man. No doubt about that. So I'm gonna stop there. Nahum, that was Nahum 2 and 4. We left off at stopping at the 4th verse. So we're gonna pick up at Nahum, the 2nd chapter and the 5th verse in part 4. Shalom. Shalom, Yasharallah. I'd like to begin by saying I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, whom I worship. Double honors to my elder apostles of Great Millstone, who taught me this word in sincerity and in truth, and who rule well, and are still on the highways and byways, pushing this word to the end so that they may receive their crowns of salvation. Salutations be to the hopeful elect throughout the world who are doing the same, that they may receive their crowns of salvation. Salutations be to the hopeful elect, the great cloud of witnesses out there of Yasharallah, who are witnessing this ministry and are believing in Yahweh Shai. May the Lord grant you and your salvation at the end. So this is part 4 of this series in the book of Nahum. We left off in chapter 2, verse 5, and we're just going to continue.
He shall recount his worthies, they shall stumble in their walk, they shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared. The gates of the rivers shall be opened, and the palace shall be dissolved, and Huzzab shall be led away captive, she shall be brought up, and her...
Yeah, now this is a prophecy against Nineveh. That was, you know, it was, you know, a city of the Assyrian Empire, right, of Assyria. Because the Assyrians got taken down by the Babylonians, which were in the same region. So the Assyrians and the Babylonians, they were in the same region, you know. What is known today as Iraq. So this is the prophet Nahum prophesying against it. But in today's time, you can bring it up in today's time. You know, America is like all the kingdoms in one. You know what I'm saying? Hell, America looks up to these different kingdoms, you know? America looks up to all the kingdoms of the ancient world, man. Assyria, the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, the Romans. That's why they collect all these artifacts. You know, Esau as a whole, no matter where they be, they're into those ancient artifacts. It doesn't matter if they're artifacts of the different deities of the ancient world or not. They collect them because they're into that stuff. And America was structured around the ideology of these different kingdoms, you know. And America's supposed to be a Christian country, right? But that's bullshit. It's a paganistic country based upon paganistic idealism. That's why I always bring out about the situation of in the House of Representatives. They have like the different busts of the ancient ancient wise, so-called wise men or powerful men or whatever, and one of them is Hammurabi of the Babylonian that created what they call the Hammurabi Code. You know, here it is. This is a so-called Christian country, and they got pagans that they look up to and worship. So that don't make no damn sense.
And Huzzab shall be led away captive. She shall.
Right. So you could take what, like these prophets, when they condemned these ancient kingdoms back then, and bring it up into today's time, you know, and use it against Esau, Edom, use it against America, the United States. Why? Because this is a wicked and evil kingdom, right? Because their practices and idealism is founded upon witchcraft, paganism, all these things that the Most High hates. They don't follow the Bible, you know. They don't follow the commandments within the Bible. So the Most High is going to destroy this place from off the face of the earth, man.
And Huzzab shall be led away captive, she shall be brought up, and her maids shall lead her as with the voice of doves, tabering upon their breasts. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. Take ye the spoil of silver.
Yeah, and that's talking about like I said, bringing this up into, of course, this is talking about Nahum back then, you know, circa, you know, what was that we looked up, 609 to 612 or something like that, BC. You know, the judgment against Nineveh, and you know, of course, it's first of all, it's dealing with that. Now, you know that the prophecies are twofold, threefold, fourfold, manyfold. So you can bring that up to the future, till now, you know, and use this very same scripture right here that we're reading, this verse. Use that as describing the nations that are here, man, in Babylon the Great, how they're gonna flee. At one point, they're all gonna flee back to their country because they know that America is gonna get judged, man. That a great judgment is coming for it, and that judgment is thermonuclear missiles, man, being shot off by all the adversaries of America. And that's in the near future.
Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store and glory out of all the pleasant furniture. She is empty, and void, and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all.
Yeah, and that's representing the spirit of America, man. in these last days.
She is empty, and void, and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. Where is the dwelling of the...
Right, verse 10. She is empty and void, and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together. That's talking about the spirit of America in these last days. All right, when America's about to get judged, you know, people are going to be, your most mighty man is going to be scared, man, afraid. You know, once this Third World War, you know, kicks off, right now, I mean, the Third World War has begun, really. You know what I'm saying? It's more like underground stuff, but it's gonna intensify. It's gonna intensify, man, and people are gonna be shook because there's gonna be a lot of talk of nuclear arms being used and being shot off over here, and that's when people are gonna realize that the lives that they live was fake. It was fake, man. You know, they're gonna realize, man, look, that you know, especially Israelites, they're gonna regret the fact that they didn't worship Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, man, you know, but they chose their own delusions, right? Their own thinking. They trusted in themselves. So now, when the time of judgment comes, just no one can save them. All right, and their knees are gonna smite together, and their teeth are gonna be shattering, and they're gonna be gnashing, like the scriptures say. And there shall be weeping and gnashing of the teeth in those days, man. And these days are close. It's getting closer and closer. These last days. It says, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness, right? Because confusion, right? They don't know how in the hell did it come down to this, the end of all things, you know. So the end of the world as they know it. So they're gonna be confused. They don't know what the hell is what they're gonna do, who's gonna save them, they trusted in their government, man. You got these people that they're gonna take the mark, they're gonna take the vaccine, and none of that stuff is gonna help them out, man, in the day of judgment. In fact, because they did those things, took those things, they're gonna get judged, right? That's what the scripture says. I ain't say it. He ain't say it. The Father said it, right? Inside joke. All right, so let's go on.
Where is the dwelling of the lions, and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the old lion, walked, and the lions whelped, and none made them afraid? The lion did tear in pieces enough for his whelps, and strangled for his lionesses, and filled his holes with prey, and his dens with ravin. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour.
Woo! Once again, I know that, NAHUM back in judging Nineveh, I believe, judging Nineveh, and but you bring it up in today's time, all right, in the spirit. There's a prophecy against America, man, against Babylon the Great. Yeah, the Lord said, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. Right, the Lord of armies. That's what the Lord of hosts means. And I will burn her chariots in the smoke. Yeah, the chariots are speaking about these vehicles, cars, trucks, right? Buses, right? You name it. These vehicles that they're on wheels. They're military chariots, tanks, Jeeps, or what have you, right? SUVs or whatever else they got. The Lord's going to burn all that stuff up by way of the thermonuclear missiles. By the way of thermonuclear technology. Thermonuclear missile technology. And I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions. Right, that sword that's going to be dropped, or swords, because there's going to be many. Those thermonuclear missiles, when they begin to fall and they hit, they're going to burn up all the young men. All the young military men will be burned up. All the young, regular civilian men and women and children. Right? Children, women, old men and old women, right? They will all be burnt up, man, because they're receiving the judgment of the. If they're not part of that, if they're not reading that book, man, all right, the book of life. If the Lord has not chosen you to be delivered in that day, you will be down here burning, okay, in the great lake of fire. And that great lake of fire is America, man, all right? Because that's exactly what it's going to be once all those missiles hit. And it says, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off thy prey from the earth. And the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. Yeah, the representatives and their ministers, what they call that, and the U.S. ambassadors, they go throughout to the other countries in the name of the U.S., right? Trying to strike deals with the other countries and make peace between the U.S. and other countries. They're going to be cut off.
Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off thy prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. Nahum chapter 3. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and
this is how you know that it's dealing with Babylon the Great, man, which is America. Because this is the place that is it was built upon bloodshed, right? America belonged to who at one point? It belonged to our brothers, the Gadites and the Reubenites, man, who are the North American Indians of whichever tribe they call themselves. They're really all of one tribe of Gad, and then you had the tribe of Reuben, all right, which are the so-called Seminole Indians. These are Israelites, and this was their land, man, that the Most High gave unto them. The Lord said that He was gonna enlarge Gad, and this is what it meant, man. This great big continent known as America. Esau came over here and stole it and murdered them to take it. Then brought over Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? And as slaves, and had them build this place up. Then you had the land tribes in the Caribbean, man. They were put in slavery to build up their shit out there in the Caribbean. So, see, Esau got a lot to pay. This is the bloody city, man. And it said that it's full of lies. And, oh boy, is it. America was founded upon lies, hypocrisy, murder, bloodshed, rape, robbery, murder.
Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not. The noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses because of the multitude.
Right. It says it said, going back to verse 2, it says the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. It's talking about these vehicles of today, these cars. All right. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, because that's talking about this great war that's about to happen. It's going to be a lot of dead people, man. And there is none end of their corpses. They shall stumble upon their corpses. I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, because this great battle that's gonna take place, man. A lot of people are gonna die in that great battle, you know. So I'm gonna stop there. So, Shalom.